Hello viewers, welcome to my channel. On this channel I discuss spiritual tips and how people live a spiritual active life. This is a new year 2024. You're highly welcome. I appreciate my viewers all over the world. I appreciate those ones that have been calling from Ghana, from Japan, from India. I've been receiving so many comments all around the world. I'm so happy, so super excited as we're entering this new year 2024, that our heart desires will definitely come into fruition. I appreciate everyone that has been sending comments via WhatsApp. Like on WhatsApp, I receive so many messages, those ones that are commenting and asking for one spiritual help and the other. I truly appreciate you. I gave a promise last year. I said this year will be superb, that will be giving out, dishing out information that will be mind-blowing and will be changing lives. The the um, the movement, this particular ordinary spirituality, is about bringing change into our lives. I mean positive and meaningful changes, so that we will not be reinventing the wheel of backwardness. So that is why I encourage every one of you to always share this video. After watching it, just place your hand on the share button so that you can put these videos on your timeline or on your social media handles. It goes a long way for others to watch this video. And please, if you haven't subscribed to this channel and you're watching for the first time, try as much as possible to place your hand on the subscribe button. That's what you could do for me for now. Put your hand on the subscribe button and subscribe to this channel. And you can also like the video if you find it interesting. You can like it and try as much as possible to make it engaging by placing a comment at the comment section. In case you want to have maybe a personal encounter or a personal discussion with me, you can do that on my WhatsApp. My WhatsApp number is 09040113281. Let's move to the topic of the day. Today we want to talk about the role of women in African spirituality, or in African setting. The role of women in African setting. I know we're living in a modern world today where women are competing favorably with men in terms of money making, in terms of wealth acquisition and all that. But I'm trying to still bring it back to where it's supposed to be. I'm saying in African setting, the men have their role to play, the women have their role to play. And Africa is the home for spirituality. Take it to the bank, it's bankable. Africa is the home for spirituality. In Africa, that is where you have nature at work. So like me, that I'm staying in the hinterland, I'm staying in a very remote environment, I'm using this YouTube as a medium of contact. I will tell you that there's nothing that's super intense over native. That native, that is natural, is raw. That whatever we say here, we stand here and say it goes very far. So that is why we're trying to reach out to everyone that have any access to watch us online, or watch us on telly, or watch us on every medium, that we are on this path to make sure we educate, we make sure we inform, we make sure to help people to make the right decisions, so that they can find to live a life that is spiritually conscious, because that's the most important thing. The life is not all about how much money you've made, or how much you've acquired, or the kind of things that you are using to make your life livable. But what matters most is your spiritual life. So forget about the modern world. Here in Africa, we are supposed to be the ones to teach the whole world what is going on, because of Africa do not have good leaders. Because of that, Africa looks as if it's lagging behind in terms of development, infrastructural development, and otherwise. But what I'm trying to tell you is that if people can copy from Africa, things that are working before we definitely work. Even before we have the advent of this judicial system, in Africa, we started judicial system. We started it because if you look at how our houses were built, there's a courtyard. There's a place called the courtyard. In Igbo land, we call it Dobi. Dobi is the courtyard where issues that are arising in the family or in the kindred or in the distant can be held. Those issues can be held there and be dealt with, right? So that everyone will have each other in their best interest instead of fighting loggerhead with each other. So, yeah, even the schooling system we have today, they saw us as people that were not educated or they were not lettered, but that doesn't mean that we're not intelligent, because intellectual is not the same thing as being intelligent. An intellectual person and an intelligent person are two different things. So that is why I'm trying to educate the public and saying that roles are given to different people for different purposes or different specific purposes. So men and women cannot exchange roles, except these days we are having kai onye na-ekwokwa gasị ike ebe a biko ị gawa gawa m na-eme vidio ị gawa na-eme vidio nọ eweliwe o. So unlike these days where you have some men that are quite lazy, that their women are the ones feeding them, some men will just sit down in their comfort zone and their women will be bringing food to them, and such men are a shame to the African society. It is actually a man's duty to provide for his family. So that is why I'm trying to say this, that men and women are not supposed to drag roles and positions in the society, apart from the modernity today that made it possible that a woman have to stay in office doing 9 to 5 jobs. Sometimes they go as early to this workplace and they come back very late in the night, and by the time they're coming back, you'll be wondering the little time they're going to stretch to cook meals for their husbands, serve their husbands their meals, and attend to the kids and go to bed. So you can see that the 9 to 5 job is it brings money to the pocket, but it's kind of stressful. It makes both the man stressful, it makes the woman stressful. So that work-life balance that we're talking about is not found there. Compared to back in the day when we had farmlands, because our ancestors were known as farmers. Our ancestors were farmers and hunters, because that was what was available for them as of that material time. So our ancestors were good at that. Wealth that our ancestors displayed were just the yam bands, they were showing yam bars as a form of being productive, that you as a man, or that you have cultivated and harvested, shows how manly you are and how productive you are as a man, how you can be able to take care of your family. And if you look back in the day, some our ancestors got married to many wives. This in turn was reducing the population of unmarried singles back in the day. But in this modern age, we have one man, one wife. You find out that we have backlog of single ladies, and because of the backlog of these single ladies, it made extramarital affairs very possible, because the lady that didn't get married will definitely will try to spoil the home of the one that got married, because she's like a wounded lion that no man is willing to accept her. So since no one is willing to pay her bride price to make her a wife, her work is to make sure she destroys homes. Sometimes they do it intentionally, sometimes they do it without knowing what they're doing. So back in the day when our ancestors married more than one wife, it created a kind of balance whereby many women are attached to one man, and him being a provider and being a protector of these women will make sure that their welfare is being taken care of. You find out that in those houses, the men have access to more than 4 wives, 3, 4 wives, and then so many kids to cater to. And doing that, it makes the man the lord of the house. And whatever the man says stands. Compared to this day where we have women playing the role of men, taking care of the family, to me, I think it's a Western influence, but it's not African setting. And because of this, you find out that some women conduct morning devotion, morning prayer, which they call morning devotion, while the man is still sitting there. So it is like a man's position or man's role has been taken away from him, which makes him a lesser man, because it is not African culture, it's not African system, where a man will sit idly and a woman takes charge of the home. It disposes that man, it replaces that man. So that is what we're trying to say, that we still want to go back to our roots and know where things are happening today. You find out that the society is in shambles. Most people are just money conscious. Everybody is money driven. The conscientiousness, morality that we eschew back in the day, that morality that we valued so much back in the day, is no longer seen these days. You discover that children are not having no anyone attending to them except maybe domestic workers. We've seen cases whereby some children lost their lives because a domestic worker was careless, because the mother and the father were out chasing money. So you cannot blame them, because this is a modern world. But if they can understand how to connect the dots, they are supposed to still play their role while they create that work-life balance. That's why I said back in the day, our farmland, our ancestors' farmland were very close to their homes. So while they are working, the wives will usually run back home to check how the children's welfare is being taken care of. So that is how it was done. But today, in the modern world, most people don't live close to their houses. Some people, like if you look at modern cities now, some people, because of the house rents are kind of so high, it makes some people to live in the suburb. They live inside the interior of the villages, and then they transport themselves to their workplaces. So if you look at the distance between the where they are living and where they are working, it is kind of a Herculean task every day, which makes it very difficult for them to attend to their kids. Today we have kids that are having access to content. There are some home movies that some parents are not supposed to allow their kids to watch. You see that if a particular movie has maybe on the cover is written parental guide, maybe 13 plus, but you find that a child that is 8 is watching that movie. And remember, children's brain today is very fast in assimilating things. So if you wondering what an 8-year-old child is having with the content made for 13 plus, you keep wondering why a content that is meant for 18 plus is being allowed for a 13-year-old to watch. Why? Because the parents are not playing their roles well. So that is what I'm trying to say, is that the roles of parents, men and women, are not supposed to compete these roles. They're supposed to do these roles favorably. The man should not relegate the woman to the kitchen. That's not what I'm talking about today. I'm not saying that men should leave the women to only work as housewives and be doing house chores and kitchen work. No. You can allow your woman to do, but make sure the job you're doing must be something that she will always be available at home when her attention is needed. And make sure it's a kind of work that doesn't bring stress. Because when a woman is stressed, maybe when the day is gone, she will not have that time to even attend to the man. And which makes, sometimes it brings some kind of conflict, where the man feels like, I'm tired of this woman, I need to go out and get maybe a particular side chick that I will use to refresh. Because the woman, once she's back from work, all she will be saying is that I'm tired, I'm tired, I'm tired, I'm tired. So that is what I'm trying to say. Men, the role of women in Igbo spirituality or in African setting is something that the whole world must emulate. We must teach this, and this is how it should be. It must stand that way. If not, the society will be chaotic. That all of us are money conscious. We get the money, yet there's no peace. Peace is not. Peace is priceless. Peace is priceless. Peace is priceless. That money cannot buy peace. So please, if you find this video interesting and you would like to make a comment, you are free to drop a comment on your comment section. Maybe you have a divergent opinion over what I said, you can drop in a comment. But if you find it interesting, give it a thumbs up. At least it makes YouTube to promote this video as well. Each time you like our videos, YouTube promotes it. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please, that's what you're going to do for me. Subscribe to this channel and place your hand in the notification bell, that anytime I post any new video, you will have access to it. So please share this video, put your hand on the share button so that this video can be available to anyone that will come across it and will learn a thing or two about it. So like I promised, 2024 is a year that things are going to turn around for everyone. I know how hard we battled the 2023, but 2024 is a year that things are going to change drastically for everyone who worked towards it. You can't be lazy and expect a miracle to happen. You must work towards it. And another thing I want to add is that I need financial support from everyone. Especially you're watching this video, I need financial assistance, because we need to buy so many things that we need to make videos to be more lively. Like, I need so many things I don't have in my possession, and I need financial support from everyone. You can see the number on your screen in case you are willing to assist us in any way. You can send in your token, you can send in anything that you want to give on that number on your screen. I would truly appreciate it. That anything you're giving here will be used for the purchase of equipment and materials that we'll use to further this evangelism, right? You are a sponsor in this evangelism, to make this evangelism, ordinary Igbo evangelism, to go further. So please, I will crave your indulgence to support us financially to that account number. You can see all those account numbers you can see on your screen. In case you are in Africa, I use so many platforms to receive money. You can use Western Union money transfer. You can use MoneyGram for those countries that operate MoneyGram. You can use World Remit. There's so many of them that you can use to send, and your financial contributions, I'll duly appreciate that. And any money that we're receiving, I'll make sure it is going into purchase of the materials we needed in order to make this work to keep moving on, right? I would duly appreciate it if you can support us in any way. Why we're doing this, because I don't want to go into that field of doing magic and doing money voodooism and all that, which is another way of making money for myself. But because this is what I do and I teach online, and the only way you can support this teaching, because the kind of money I'll be seeing will encourage me. Maybe one day I'll go into having radio sessions, right? Maybe paying for jingles and paying for studio sessions in the broadcasting station, where we can also evangelize, right? Because we need more people to get aware. It's about awareness, public awareness about Igbo spirituality. So if I can have funds to pay for studio sessions in here in Nigeria is kind of pricey. mm. So if I can find financial standings that I can use to pay for these studio sessions, very soon we'll start doing that. So it's gradual, the gradual we're getting there, right? So, but all I need now is I needed money to purchase some equipment. Like you see, the video is not quite audible because I lost the equipment I used for my video. Want to seek any spiritual counseling, or if you want to book an alpha consultation appointment with me, you can chat me on my WhatsApp. My WhatsApp is 09040113281. Thanks for stopping by. Yagazia.